Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of Cooking with Grizzly. Today I'll be showing you a great way to make burger patties or just patties in general. And it doesn't require a lot, it's healthy, it's delicious, and I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, here's how to do it. First up, you'll need your ingredients. Seasoning for the meat. I have garlic, parsley, pepper, a bit of chili, Cajun peppers, and all that good jazz. It's all up to you, whatever you want. Next up is the eggs. You'll need 3 eggs for approximately 1.5 pounds of meat. We have 3 pounds, so we need 6. It's going to help make the meat stick together. Next up, oats. You need oats to help the patties stick together while cooking. Now for meat, I got, basic red meat. You put the red meat in a bowl so that you'll be able to basically mix all the ingredients with the meat whenever you need to. You can already start by squishing the meat together. I strongly recommend you clean your hands before because while you're cooking, so anytime you have red meat, clean your hands before and after every use. Next up, very simple step, just crack the eggs open. Like I said before, you'll need 3 eggs for approximately 1.5 pounds of red meat. Any eggs will do, you don't need anything special. Basically, the eggs will help cook the meat together. When you make an omelet, well, it's gonna kind of have the same effect on the meat without directly feeling like eggs. You can think of it as you're making a meat cake. Eggs help make all of the ingredients together and make it all fluffy. Now, real easy. You beat the eggs until it's all nice and uniform, at least as much as possible, and just pour all your ingredients in it. Make sure all the ingredients are well mixed. You don't want any patty to be overly too pepper or too spicy if you put some spicy stuff in it. Just make sure it's as even as possible. Try to really mix everything together so that there's no clumps of, pepper, salt, or whatever herbs or spices you put in there. Now, put the eggs with whatever ingredients you want to, right in the meat, right in there. You don't need anything else to prepare. Make sure your hands are super duper clean and start mixing. Now, I understand this is pretty disgusting for a lot of people. If you don't like touching red meat directly, just use surgical gloves or cooking gloves. Or even better, meat gloves. You don't need anything special for this. Just mush everything with your hands. And it's pretty messy. Next up, once everything with the eggs is done and pretty much uniform, you add in the oats and repeat the same process. You don't need, again, any special tools or, utensils for this. Just use your hands. Make sure the oats are really well mixed in with the patties so that, it's pretty uniform. Once again, you don't want a patty that is super duper hard or that has too much oats in it. Next step, you make the patties. The patties should not be bigger than the palm of your hand. This basically facilitates cooking and will ensure that it doesn't take 30 minutes to cook one ball of meat. Now, with about 3 pounds of red meat, I'm able to make roughly 30 patties. Obviously, if you're cooking for a lot of people, you'll be able to feed a lot of people for cheap, for about $10 Canadian, so really not expensive dollars US. You'll have enough patties for a lot of people. These fill you up a lot, and they're actually really good. So right here, I'm just trying to make the patties as uniform as possible. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller. Don't worry too much about that. As long as they're roughly the same size, all is good. And also, if some patties are too small, you can just add some of the rest of the meat onto it, or take some of the meat from a really bigger patty and just stuff it on the smaller one. Now, for cooking the actual meat, well, first off, you need some wine, because anytime you cook, you need some wine. Gloob, gloob, gloob. The wine is good. Yeah, it's good. So, what you need to do is, once you have all of your meatballs ready, and notice that they're meatballs and not actual patties, put your heat onto maximum and wait for your stove to heat up completely. So it's up on high. Once it's heated up completely, you'll see a little smoke rising from your pan. It's not very clear here, but once it does happen, turn the heat down to medium, add some oil at the bottom. You don't need a whole lot of oil, just basically anything to cover the complete bottom of the pan. And just plop in your meatballs and squish them so that they form like patties. Now, it's really important to say, be really careful because you are cooking with oil. Oil is boiling. It really hurts. You don't need to burn yourself for this, obviously. And obviously, also, you need to flip. I'm having a lot of trouble here. You need to flip the patty sides. What you want is something that is brownish but not too black. And obviously, you want the middle to also be brown. I'll show you in a second what it should not look like. Right here. Do not take it off the stove like this. Now here, this is pretty good, is when the oats are ready. Ta-da! After about 10 minutes each, and by each I mean each batch, I have pretty awesome patties. As you can see here, it's very brown on the outside and just enough brown on the inside to retain, well, its overall moistness, and the outside is kind of crunchy, which is really awesome. So, all in all, what you want to look for is a crisp outer side and a softer inside. Obviously, you don't want the inside to be red. If it's red, put it back on the stove. Ground meat should never be red inside, just in case. Always brown. Meow yourself. And yeah, you can taste the garlic. You can taste the parsley a bit. I really like putting it with a bit of, I was gonna call this mayonnaise, with a bit of mustard. Dijon mustard is preferred in my opinion, but normal mustard does work all the same. And yeah, I'm eating right now 4 patties, and I have about at least 2 dozen, maybe 30. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I have like supper and lunch for a good while. These are also good if you want to heat them up for breakfast with like 2 eggs or something. Really good, nutritious, and yeah, delicious. Oh, these are so warm and so good. So anyways, oh my god, they really are good. I hope you guys enjoyed this newish episode kind of thing. I know it's not video game related, but it's still good to know how to cook. So, like the episode down below if you enjoyed the video. Comment, because I want to know how you're going to vary your patties. And subscribe if you want to see more gaming and cooking kind of stuff. And thanks for watching. Ciao!